Welcome to MMO Grinder Sidequest, where I take a look at early open or closed betas, subscription trials, and simpler titles, giving you a quick first impression. Today I'll be looking at Battlerite, an arena-focused MOBA-style action game published and developed by Stunlock Studios, devs of the formerly alive and previously reviewed Dead Island Epidemic. But don't let that discourage you. Battlerite recently finished a free-play weekend, as the game is still in early access and is slated to go to free-to-play upon release, with a Smite-style buy-to-unlock-everything package also granting early access. Graphics are not where this game really shines, but it plays more into a bright and rather silly aesthetic, with very stylized characters and tons of flashy effects, many arenas invoking some kind of runic jungle kingdom. In fact, this may seem reminiscent of a game called Bloodline Champions, which Stunlock also developed while being published by Funcom of all people. So consider Battlerite an updated version or spiritual successor, whichever phrase you like better. While music tends to be very muted and fitting of the tribal theme, it's unquestionably drowned out by the sound work, which is loud, constant, dealing tons of explosions and heavy impacts, and really matches the chaotic action scene on screen. Characters also get voice lines, which are also a bit drowned out by the action, but some of the lines that can be heard can be amusing depending on your sense of humor, especially when your character snags the MVP award for that round. Despite this game's roots in a former Stunlock property, you might feel elements of other MOBA and competitive games that are being introduced here while playing. The titular Battlerites are selectable skill buffs and tweaks that you choose at the very start of each round, similar to choosing level up perks in Paladins and Heroes of the Storm. While getting a mount to quickly take you to the battlefield will also make an appearance. Battlerite does the interesting and often unused route of letting you press the mount button again to gain a speed boost, though. There are earnable loot chests that grant you cosmetics and avatars similar to Overwatch, featuring the same kind of here's a bunch of skins for a character you'll never play luck of the draw, though I thankfully have yet to run into repeats if that's even possible. It features rewards for improving levels in individual characters, like seen in Heroes of the Storm and Smite, but granting more chances at those loot boxes, as well as letting you earn player titles. What this game does differently from a lot of those other games is that it behaves more like an arena fighter and shooter, combining MOBA-style gameplay without the MOBA-style map. Matches are limited to 3v3 and 2v2 bouts, with a best of 3 out of 5 match system based entirely on deathmatch elimination with the last team standing, making games very short and simple to complete without having to dedicate upwards of an hour of your time. Movement is entirely WASD based, like the previous Dead Island Epidemic. Instead of selectable weapons though, each character has a skill kit, with basic attacks bound to left click, an alternate attack to right click, Q and E offering different skills, usually with higher cooldowns, space being often used as a movement or defensive skill, and R and F consuming collected power. R being a strong skill, and F being your ultimate, which will consume your entire power meter once filled. Items on the map boost this power faster, and health orbs are scattered around. Your health is displayed in sections and cannot be fully recovered once a portion is removed. Characters do not respawn, and the entire fight arena will shrink as the match goes on, so battles will very likely result in a death. The sheer amount of movement, pushback, and even counter skills ensure that matches are very chaotic, and a player with the right amount of skill will dominate a match. It's important to know what your character is capable of, as well as the enemy, and build accordingly. No items and meta builds required. It's tense, fast-paced, and really intriguing. Croce and I spent most of our time in PvP studying a character that would happen to destroy us, and figure out how to best counter them or use them to our advantage. The crushing losses and clutch victories all felt earned, and nothing that happened in match ever felt like it wasn't our doing, which is my #1 want in a PvP game. The community is blissfully quiet, as the game doesn't really allow much time for chatter. The match screen is a short splash scoreboard that thankfully doesn't display idiotic information like who killed who. The most glory you'll see is whoever is deemed MVP among the victors at round's end, an honor easily earned by any character, as support, like defending and healing your allies, as well as disabling the enemy team's abilities, are tracked right along with the damage, making this one of the few PvP games that actually rewards damage, tanking, and support classes for doing their damn job, and not just those who try to steal last hits for kills and glory hounding. This automatically places this game as a quick contender for my favorite MOBA, ever since HOTS inexplicably decided to re-include KDA into their scoreboard. While I'm not entirely sure how the cash op is going to work, as there are 2 currencies laid out, one earned quite often and the other likely to be a paid currency, I'd wager a guess that it'll take the League of Legends route of allowing you to either earn your characters or purchase them with cash points, as well as possible direct access to certain cosmetics. As of now, everyone with early access just unlocked all current and future characters to the game's lifespan. with the only other purchasable items being the loot chests, which are purchased directly for a monetary total and no points, so you don't need to hire an accountant to figure out how much they really cost. Whether or not these pulls on the slot machine will be seen as worth it remains to be seen, as while it worked for Overwatch, the alternate skins unlockable for Battlerite rarely venture outside of recolors and slight model tweaks. As I just said, Battlerite is a strict contender for becoming my favorite game in the genre, and I really look forward to its full release. Whether we do this as a full episode is anyone's guess, but I do encourage anyone to try it if they can. Just be prepared for a slight learning curve that'll improve in time, and when you become more comfortable with the overall mechanics, as well as how each character plays with and against each other. Hop in, and don't be afraid to give the PvP a shot. Give Battlerite the chance to grow on you. It's worth keeping an eye on. This has been an MMO Grinder Sidequest, and it's time I logged out.